So to ask continuation or change and to discuss where next for Guantanamo, we're joined by a member of Britain's Green Party, Dr. Shahrar Ali in London. Dr. Ali has written a chapter on the injustice of Guantanamo Bay in his book, Why Vote Green. We're also joined by defence and diplomacy analyst in Islamabad, Naveed Ahmad, and on the phone from Wilmington, justice and political activist Dalia Wasfi in Delaware. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this edition of Press TV's news analysis. And Dr. Ali, if I may start with you, it's been described as the most debilitating setback to date on Barack Obama's plan to close the military prison at Guantanamo Bay. Is the closure of the prison all but blocked now by this vote? Is there any wriggle room at all?
There's a great deal of room. We have to remind ourselves how we got to this point. Obama came into the presidency on a ticket that he would shut this down within 12 months. Within a matter of weeks, we are now 1 year overdue from his self-imposed pledge. And he is claiming, as a result of a lack of financial resources, having already targeted $700+ billion in a defence budget. This is an extraordinary example of moral bankruptcy of a high order. You're describing it as a U-turn. It's much worse than that. What price justice? We have detainees, over 100 still, who have not been tried, who have not been charged. This is a pre-Magna Carta medieval state of justice. It's no justice.
Dr. Ali, in recent days, Attorney General Eric Holder has warned that the limits could violate the Constitution, the limits that have been placed here, by intruding on the executive branch's right to make decisions about where prosecutors should be brought. Of course, this is because these Gitmo prisoners are now being stopped outright for being sent to the United States. The White House so far has pointedly refused to say whether Obama's objection to the Gitmo provisions is so strong that he would veto the entire defence measure. He can do that. Do you think it's a step he may take?
He must quite simply follow through on his word. He's not a naive. It's true he inherited this mess, which is a bit of an understatement. We're talking about people's lives here. We have 2 British residents there who have not been returned to the UK, even though Gordon Brown consented to that in one case, Ahmed Belbacha and Sheikha Amr. In Amr's case, he has 4 children, one of whom he has never met. We're talking about an interrogation camp here, where individuals have been held without charge or trial, contrary to the Geneva Conventions of 1949. I don't understand how Obama can sleep at night. These are his words, it's his pledge. He's not a naive. We're not talking about big money here compared to the vast amounts that are being spent on illegal, immoral invasions and wars around the world. We are talking about fundamental human rights for individuals who have suffered. We are not going to forget them. Our own Caroline Lucas MP has submitted an early day motion. We are not going to forget the injustice that's going on. There's campaigns going on throughout Christmas and in January in the new year to mark an extraordinary 9 years people have been detained there in this interrogation camp. Unacceptable, unforgivable.
Ms. Wasfi, what Dr. Should terrorists, people held at Guantanamo Bay, be given the same rights as normal Americans in a civilian court, Dr. Ali?
Well, we don't yet know what they have done. If they've done wrong, let them be charged and tried, ideally in an open court, and we shall see. Even on the US own secret trials, we've had many people who have been released, no doubt because information has been solicited, sometimes complicit with the UK Secret Services, through torture, totally unreliable and totally unwarranted, inadmissible. In this country also, very recently, we've had the British detainees have been offered an out-of-court settlement, which they've accepted. I wonder why. Because if we'd had all this dirty laundry exposed to the public, it would have been WikiLeaks and more. It would have been pretty serious implications in terms of how the UK has been complicit in extraordinary rendition and all the rest of it.
Ms.